The night was colder than usual in the small Pennsylvanian town of East Ridge, a place where people still left their doors unlocked and kids rode bikes without fear. But that illusion of safety was shattered the night Lily Donovan's world collapsed, the night her daughter, Emily, didn't come home. Lily was a single mother, a nurse who worked double shifts to make sure her daughter had everything she needed. Emily, just 17, was bright, spirited, with dreams of becoming a journalist. She wasn't the kind of girl to stay out late without calling. But that night, no call came. When Lily tried Emily's phone, it rang until the voicemail picked up. The pit in her stomach grew heavier with every hour that passed. By morning, Lily was standing in front of the local sheriff's office, a shaking cup of gas station coffee in her hand, pleading for them to file a missing persons report. The officers assured her it was probably nothing. Teens run off sometimes, they said. But Lily knew. She knew her daughter wouldn't do that. Days passed, then weeks. Flyers with Emily's face faded in the rain, overlooked by people who had stopped paying attention. The police investigation stalled. There was no footage, no witnesses, nothing. Just a mother who refused to give up. When law enforcement stopped calling her back, Lily decided to search herself. She sold her car to hire a private investigator, a grizzled old man named Frank Mallory, who had seen too much bad in the world to believe in happy endings. But he saw something in Lily, a fire that refused to die. Frank started by tracing Emily's last known steps. She had been at the diner after her part-time shift, seen talking to a man in his late 20s, tall, clean-cut, wearing a military jacket. The description fit no one they knew, and the diner's cameras had been out that night. But a waitress remembered the man's distinctive tattoo, a rose wrapped in barbed wire on his hand. Frank knew tattoos like that weren't common. He reached out to his old contacts in biker circles, lowlifes, and ex-cons. The lead took them to a dangerous gang in a neighboring town known for drug trafficking and illegal fight rings. But when they arrived, they were told the man with the rose tattoo wasn't part of the gang anymore. He'd gone underground, off the grid. Still, Lily pushed forward. She went to dive bars, back alleys, anywhere that might remember a man with that mark. She was robbed once, threatened twice, but she kept going. Her determination became something else, an obsession. Then one night, Frank got a tip. A girl, barely alive, had been dumped behind a strip club 2 towns over. She described a warehouse where she had been kept and a man with the rose tattoo. Without waiting for the cops, Lily and Frank drove out to the warehouse, deep in an abandoned industrial park. The place smelled of rust, oil, and old blood. Inside, the walls were lined with cages. Lily's heart pounded, but Emily wasn't there. They found photos, though, Polaroids of girls. Emily was among them, smiling awkwardly in a forced pose. Frank, hardened as he was, looked away in shame. They were dealing with human traffickers. That night changed Lily. She wasn't just a mother searching for her child anymore. She was a hunter. Frank taught her how to shoot, how to follow trails without being seen. Together, they built a network of informants, people in desperate places who owed favors. Every clue led to another. Every dead end only sharpened her rage. Months passed. The police, now aware of her personal crusade, warned her to back off. She ignored them. One day, a breakthrough. A trucker saw the rose tattoo man in Ohio running a backroom fight club. They drove for hours, arriving at a grimy underground arena. The air was thick with sweat, booze, and violence. There he was, the rose tattoo. His real name was Damian Cole. Lily stared at him, memorizing every scar on his face. They didn't attack that night. Frank reminded her this was bigger than one man. They followed Damien, tracking his every move. He led them to a compound, heavily guarded, fenced, and crawling with armed men. This was it, the hub of the trafficking ring. Inside, God knows how many girls were trapped. But they couldn't do it alone. Lily and Frank recorded everything, the guards, the girls, the vans, and leaked it to a journalist friend of Emily's, someone who had promised to help if they ever found anything real. The story exploded. National news picked it up. Public outcry over human trafficking had reached a boiling point, and the government couldn't ignore it. Laws changed. Funding increased for anti-trafficking units. Lily didn't stop. She founded a non-profit, training other parents, offering resources for missing children. Emily joined her, using her writing to tell the stories of survivors. They turned their pain into power. And when Damien Cole was finally sentenced to life, Lily was there, staring him down, the same fire in her eyes that burned that first night Emily disappeared. She whispered under her breath, "You didn't win." Because the truth is, a mother's love can tear down the darkest walls. And in that war between light and shadows, love always finds a way to survive.